We did it, Joe. We got it. If you haven't been following my Stanley saga, in December of this last year, I posted a video of things I wasn't gonna buy in 2023. And among that list was water bottles, specifically because I wanted a Stanley Cup so badly and I knew that I didn't need one, and if I didn't have it on the list, I was gonna cave. Well, it's now May and I have not stopped talking about how much I want a Stanley Cup, so my very sweet husband, either out of selflessness or a deep desire to get me to stop talking about it, bought me a Stanley Cup, and I am so excited about it. Will this actually have a huge direct impact on my life? Absolutely not. However, do I feel freaking adorable with it, and does it make me happy to bring with me every day? Yes. Today's video is a little let's catch up, life updates, bake with me video, and I am so excited for this. I have never filmed a video like this where I've actually just like sat down and chatted to you, and I feel like so much has been happening in my life that I want to talk about, but for more than like 10 seconds in a vlog. So I just figured this would be a really fun thing to do. I ran a poll on YouTube to see if you wanted to see a bake with me or get ready with me, and bake with me won. We're gonna be making bread and we're gonna use my favorite recipe, which I will definitely leave in the description box if you want to try it out. It is such an easy recipe, so if you want to learn how to bake bread, this will also be that for you. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have your beverages covered. I have my water in my Stanley and coffee, which desperately needs to be reheated. Let's just start out. I'm gonna grab my stand mixer. You can also just do this in a big bowl, but because I have pretty bad carpal tunnel, I prefer to make my bread in a stand mixer because it saves my hands. This is my KitchenAid. I love it. It is the Tilt one, which is honestly incredible. I was very blessed to receive this as a wedding gift, and I'm so thankful because I use it all the freaking time. So I'm just gonna start off by adding 2 cups of warm water to the bowl. And now I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar and dissolve them inside of that. Next, I'm just gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of my Fleischmann's quick rise yeast. All right, I'm gonna let that sit to proof. It'll probably take around like 5 minutes. And while it does, I wanted to tell you guys that I went viral on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and then I deleted it. I'm making a whole video on this topic where I'm gonna go more in depth, but basically I uploaded 2 reels. One of them was about, I literally took like a bunch of tulips and I cut them and I put them in a teapot, and I was just like, it's so cute. And then I had this other one where I was talking about using a song from The Incredibles as my alarm in the morning. And both of them performed pretty well at first, like they got a few thousand views, which I'm happy with. Then last week they scaled from maybe 10,000 views or something to millions. I don't know what they're at currently, but last I knew, one of them was at almost 4 million and the other one was at like 2.5. I've had videos do very well for me before, but this was like nothing I've ever experienced. It happened so quickly, and within a few hours of things starting to take off, I immediately knew that I needed to stop reading my comments. The thing about the Instagram algorithm is that it pushes videos in front of people who they think will engage with it, not necessarily people who they think will like it. So I started getting a lot of comments from people being like, this is the stupidest video that I've ever seen, and just like not kind things. And the thing is, I don't entirely disagree with them. We're like, it wasn't supposed to be this like profound video, and I have no idea why it has that many views. I genuinely do not have an explanation for you. This isn't a life-changing video. It was genuinely just me being like, LOL, tulips are cute. And honestly, I don't really care that like users 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 didn't like my video. Like, that's fine with me. On YouTube, I don't anticipate that every single one of my subscribers is going to want to watch every single one of my videos. I get that. We're all different people. That's fine. I'm not trying to connect with every single person on the internet. But the comments were coming in such a wide amount that I had a very serious talk with myself. My breaking point was kind of when I started getting DMs from people who had followed me and then were replying to my story with just like, I don't know, hate comments feels like drastic. It wasn't like death threats or anything that bad, but it was just people over and over criticizing my content. And not like, oh, I didn't like this part of it, but like, this is so dumb, like, you suck at this. And I was like, I can handle this, but I don't think that I want to. A week ago today, I deleted the Instagram app from my phone. So yeah, I guess it was 2 weeks ago that it like kind of went viral. It's been a very interesting week without it. I'm gonna film a whole video talking about my experience. I decided that I'm doing it for 30 days. So if you see me not posting, that is why. I am still accessing my DMs through Meta Business Suite. So if you send me a message, I will try to get back to you on there, although I'm not sure if my message requests are coming through. But yeah, that is why I'm not on Instagram this month. And honestly, it's been very refreshing. I realized kind of in the process of preparing for the video that I'm filming, I haven't not accessed Instagram in 30 days since 2012, which is insane. My entire adolescent and adult life has been spent with Instagram downloaded on a device within my reach at almost all times. And that's insane to me. I am by no means anti-social media, but I do think that this has been a very revealing experiment for me so far, and just noticing my own habits and patterns, and it's really making me reevaluate how I want to engage with that after these 30 days. Like, to be honest, I'm not sure that I'm coming back to Instagram. I don't know that I'm not, but I'm not sold on the idea of staying on the platform. Like, I might use a scheduler and still post, and like I can access my comments as well from Meta Business Suite. I'm not reading them this month, but I could if I wanted to. I don't know, maybe do that, then just not be on stories. But then kind of like, what's the point of Instagram? Because I feel like stories are so much better, you know? I don't know. If you have thoughts, let me know. Yeah, it's really making me think. I'm filming like little clips for the video kind of throughout this month, and then at the end of each week, I'm doing like a sit down. Here's how I'm feeling, here's what's happening, and like this is what's going on. Let's check on the bread. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, she's looking really good. Now I'm just gonna add the rest of the sugar and then salt and oil. Now we're just gonna mix that up. I'm just using my dough hook. And we're gonna start to add flour. Also, the general being covered in flour typically does not come with the territory. This is due to a general lack of coordination and an apron. I don't own an apron. I really wanna get a cute one on Etsy. All right, yeah, definitely need some more flour here. That is a-okay. Okay, it's 2:25. I need for 7 minutes until 2:32. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you guys about is just like a general kind of update on the move and the adjustment and how I'm doing, because I've talked a lot about the state of my mental health through our move and just like all of the changes. And I want to talk about this because I know that a lot of you are going through similar things or have gone through similar things. Like, I've read your comments and your DMs about making big moves at this stage of life, and like just being in your 20s. I think there's so much starting over, and I am not gonna lie to you, like it has been really, really hard. One of the weird things about it is that I'm not somebody who usually struggles with starting over. I thrive in new environments. I love making new friends and meeting new people and getting to start over and kind of like reinvent myself in new spaces, and just I find it to be a really great space to make changes in my life and explore new hobbies and habits, and I normally love that kind of thing. And so it's been really strange coming here and having that be a very different experience. I think the biggest thing that we just keep being told is like, it takes time. I get that, and I understand where that comes from, and I know that it does take time. And also, this doesn't just feel like an adjustment. Like, maybe I'm completely off base and we'll see, and this is just for some reason taking us longer than normal. But throughout my whole life, like, this has not been something that has ever been this hard for me, or that has felt hard in this way. And I'm not even really sure like how to explain it. It's not only that it doesn't feel like home or normal, it just does not feel like the kind of environment that I thrive in. I don't feel like I've been the best version of myself. It's not just the mental health aspect either. Like, obviously I'm not gonna be my best self when I'm feeling really anxious or depressed, but I don't know how to be myself here, and hopefully that's something that I'll figure out with time, and like thinking ahead now to the future. And the reality is just like that everything is so unknown. We don't have plans to leave Ottawa, but we also aren't really tied here. Like, neither of us have jobs in Ottawa. We both work remotely. We could theoretically go anywhere, live anywhere, and that's really interesting. Almost all of our friends are there. If you think of me, pray for your girl, because it's a lot to figure out. Honestly, I'm really, really ready for life to be boring. Most days I'm fine and it's just like, oh, we'll figure it out. But then there are also some days where, to be honest with you, I just feel like exhausted from the chaos and the unknown of it. Really, really, really just need life to be like predictable for like 6 months. Yeah, all of the change and the uncertainty is just exhausting. Also, it is time to stop kneading. So I'm gonna go grab a mixing bowl and I'm just gonna lightly oil the sides of it. And then I'm gonna put this in that bowl to rise for 1 hour. I'm just gonna lay a damp cloth over top and let that rise for 1 hour. While that's rising, I'm just gonna quickly do the dishes. The only sad thing with the KitchenAid is that it's not dishwasher safe, but if I can just get that done by hand, I don't even have to think about it when the bread is done, and that's my much preferred option. It's been an hour, let's go check on the bread. It has definitely doubled in size. Look at that, she's poking through. Okay, first things first, we just need to punch it down. Like, literally just. All right, the next step is to divide the dough in half. I'm just gonna kind of shape it into loaves and then put them into 2 loaf pans. I've already greased these, I just use butter and it works great for me every time. That is honestly the part that I feel like I am the worst at. My loaves never turn out perfectly even, but I don't care because they taste good. While the bread is rising, I wanted to answer a few of your questions. So I asked you on Instagram like 10 days ago, right before I deleted the app, to send me any questions that you had for a little Q&A, life update, catch-up video. And thankfully, I took a screenshot of them before I deleted the app. So I am literally just reading these off of my computer. The first question that I got was about budgeting expenses, specifically for living in Ottawa, and just like the cost of what that looks like, which is such a fair question. I think the thing with cost of living is that it really is so relative. Like when we moved to Ottawa from Vancouver, Ottawa feels extremely affordable to us. So part of the reason that we left Vancouver is because Vancouver is so expensive and Ottawa is much more affordable as a city to live in. But when I've shared that with people here who live here, they're like, what are you talking about? Ottawa is so expensive. So I really do think like a huge part of that is just what you're accustomed to and what you're used to expecting. I would say that I find Ottawa pretty low cost, particularly since it's such a walkable city. Like you can live here and not have a car. We do have a car, but honestly, we really don't need it. I think had we known that we were moving to Ottawa, we wouldn't have gotten it when we did. Rent prices vary greatly depending on where you are in the city, but overall, I would say it's quite affordable compared to what I'm used to. As for budgeting, I would highly recommend watching Carter Sullivan. She's actually another Ottawa YouTuber. Love her videos and she creates really incredible financial content, so definitely check her out. What are some places you want to travel to? Honestly, right now, I'm so excited to go to Vancouver. In the next year specifically, I'm really hoping to go to Dallas, Nashville, and New York. We're like tentatively planning a couple of them. They're just not locked in yet. I've never been to either Dallas or Nashville, and they're both really high on the list of cities that I want to go visit. So really excited about that. And New York, I just love for so many reasons. I have family in upstate New York that we're hopefully going to see very soon, and I'm really looking forward to that. Once we're like halfway there, we have to go to New York City because why not? I just love New York. There's nothing like it, and I'm really excited about that. How did you and your husband meet? We met through church is the long story short. We actually met for the very first time at a Christmas party for a church that neither of us were going to, which is funny. I remember thinking that he was the most attractive man I ever laid eyes on, and he doesn't remember meeting me, so that's fun. But then we reconnected like 9 months later at a church we were going to, and we became really good friends, and then eventually started dating, and here we are. How do you stay organized? It's hard to answer this question in like a sentence or two. I do have a lot of videos up on organization on my channel, so I'll link some of those, I'll put some of those on the screen, but genuinely, I think being organized is just about getting to know yourself, what matters to you, and finding a system that really works with your brain. For me, keeping track of things in Notion and Google Calendar has been a complete game changer. Like I harp on time blocking and I feel like every single video, but that's because it really, really works for me. I know it doesn't work for everyone and that's totally fine. You need a system that's good for you. But yeah, that for me is what helps the most. I don't know why this question made me laugh so hard. Somebody asked if my mom has red hair. No, and neither do I. This is 100% fake. I used to be very, very blonde, and I was less blonde but still blonde, and then I've been red since January 2022, and I don't see myself going back. Someone else asked, do you make money off of social media and is it enough to live off? I kind of wanted to address this because I've gotten a few DMs as well lately about like, can you talk about how much you make, because I want to know how much to realistically expect. And here's the thing, I do make money off of social media. It's something I'm pursuing as a full-time job. It kind of snowballs and it can be a really slow process. We are a dual income household. Both my husband and I contribute to our finances, so we could not live off of my income alone at this point. I'm hoping that at some point that changes, but currently, no. From my understanding to how much creators make really, really varies person to person. I always want to be very cautious when talking about money because I don't want to give anybody a false sense of expectation. And like, if you want a realistic, reliable, practical career path, then social media is probably not for you. That's not to say you shouldn't try, but if that's your #1 priority, this is never going to be consistent. The range in your income month to month is going to be huge. I actually watched a video this morning from a creator talking about how much she made last year, and she had one month where she made $75,000 and another month where she made $7,000. Now, $7,000 is still a lot of money in a month, but like the range is huge. So just keep that in mind as you're doing planning. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like these are not even at all, but they're gonna taste good. So I'm about to put them in now. They've been rising for 30 minutes. Oven is preheated to 350 and they are gonna cook for 30-ish minutes. She's done. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, these look amazing. I can't wait to have some when we get home tonight. Coming back to fresh bread will just be the best feeling ever. I definitely put too much in this one and not enough in this guy, but that's okay. It all tastes the same. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this little bake with me, hang out, catch up video. I had so much fun just sitting and chatting with you. I would love to do more of these, so definitely let me know if that's something you would like to see more of from me. As always, I really appreciate you guys being here. I truly can't tell you how much each and every one of you means to me, and just the impact that you have on my life is more than you know. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely make sure to leave a comment and let me know. I hope you have a good day, because today is a good day to have a good day. And that's it. Bye.